Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of Generating Random Data, and this time we're going to try to make the data realistic and also incorporate missing values. Now when we say we'll make it realistic, that means we're going to not have situations where the data is going to be weird or have odd kind of data in the rows. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to import the packages for this. So I'm going to import pandas SPD. I'm going to import numpy as MP. So this just about the two we're going to use. Right. Let me add a few. Right. So next, we want to have set the number of records. So here we set the number of records we want. And off my head, let's just have, say 100,000. We're going to have 100,000 observations, 100,000 rows. Right, so I'll call this num underscore records, and in here we're going to have 100. We're going to have this as 100,000 rows. Now the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to create an age column. Now, so this data is just going to be like a biodata type data, right? So that's just what we're going to do. So we're going to have age, and for age we are going to have call this age, and we're going to have mp.random .randint. So that's what we're going to be using. And here we're just going to have like a distribution here for 18-year-olds and stopping at 65. So we're going to put 66. So the highest number will be excluded. Then we'll put on the num records. So that makes it that we have 100,000 rows, right? So that's that. Now we're going again to have our second. And so for the second, we're going to have salary. So this is going to be similar to the other videos I've had on this, but this time we're going to add more values or more columns to this data we're creating, this random data. So here we're going to have salary, and for salary we are going to have, let me write this here. For age we had random data. What we had was random here. So let me put it over here. So we had random integers between 18 and 65, and here for salary we're going to have random integers between 5,000 and 200,000. Just make it whatever currency you want. So I'll say Naira because all the way from Nigeria. Shout out to Nigeria though. So have salary, and so again np the random dot rand int, and again here the lowest is 5,000 and the highest is 2 million. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we just take this one and put it over here, and we have num underscore records because we have 200,000 rows. Now again we have the third, and I'm going to take my time and do this so you can see, for benefit of doubt for anyone who's trying to learn, this is just about how you get to learn stuff, right? So here what we're going to do is we want to have amount in the bank, and again it's going to be a random integer of the lowest, right? The random integer of the lowest, 500 to 1 million. So that's what we're going to do, right? And so quickly I'm just going to copy this and I'll paste it over here. So we have amounts in the bank and we have this. Then we are going to have the fourth one. Now we're just going to make this really quick. So here we're going to have random. We're going to look at taxes. So right, so that's what we're going to have. So imagine we have taxes here. So we have tax paid, and it's going to be random between 500 to 100,000. Again, you see that we have this. Now the fifth one is we are going to have a credit score. So you see now we're looking at credit scores, right? So we're going to have a credit score here. And now you can see we have credit score with a random from 0.1 to 10. So we're just looking at it and just hoping that maybe, a higher credit score means you could do a lot, right? Then we're going to look at marital status, right? So we're going to look at marital status. And with marital status, we're going to be looking at folks who are either single. And then the interesting part about marital status here, and just like we did here with the credit here, is that this is, if you look over here, so we're looking at samples that are uniformly distributed, right? Then over here, we're using random.choice. So again, we're going to be using the random.choice because we're going to be working with 1D data. So we have single, married, and divorced, and we have that. Now, the interesting part about this is, and we're still coming at it, is we are going to ensure that we have data that is really and truly realistic, and at the end of it, we're going to also incorporate the idea of missing value. So that's what we're working with, right? So let's add more. So we're also going to look at educational status. So that's what we're going to have here. So I'm copying and pasting because I want it to be really quick, right? So again, look at this educational status, np.random.choice, and we have undergraduate, graduate, and unknown. So it's ideal to put in some, surprise stuff. Now the ninth data point we'll be working with is we're going to be working with height data. Now here we have height data. If you look over here, we had random floats between 5 feet 3 inches and over here 6 feet 7 inches, right? And you can see the translation of the inches here, and we're doing all the translations in feet. And so here again we have a uniform distribution here, so you can see uniformly distributed, right? And so we're going to have all this, and we've set this all up to be 100,000 records. Now we're about to be done with this first part. So this first part, we are just focusing on creating the data points. Now, then I think we're going to also add weight. We're also going to add weight. And here with weight, we have, again, just like a uniform distribution, and we're just going to have, we're going to be looking at it in kilograms, right? 40 kg to 110 kg. Then finally, this is going to be the first thing, and I'm going to take my time and write this out. Now we're going to be looking at numbers of years in the current job, right? And now this is one of the first places we are going to look at something really realistic. Now let's first put this here. Now you see the thing we're going to try to do here is that the number of years in the current job, and it must be 0. And the person's age will be minus 18. So we want a situation where we have somebody who is 18 not going to be having like years in a job for like 20 years. So that makes a lot of sense. So how do I start? I call this years _ job. And now I'm going to create an array. Now with this array, I'm going to, inside it, I'm going to also have like np the random. Of course, we've used this .randint. Now here's where we go. Now we have 0, which is the first. Now the second we're going to have is we're going to say, look, the max, we're going to have create max and say the max we have is 1, right? And we're going to have an age underscore value. I'm going to create this first, and this age underscore value is going to say minus 17. So if we have anybody that's 18 years old, should have, you know, 1 year experience max, right? So this, no, not that, 17. Then, yeah, we close this, right? Now we go in to say, now for age underscore val, right, we're going to reference in age underscore val, so which is this, we're going to reference in age. So that's what we're going to be having here, right? So that's what we're going to try to do over here. So while we're referencing age, we're going back over here and we're going to be referencing this. And I'm hoping this works and does not have any error, right? And so, so we have all this. So this is the data point we have for this first part, where we are generating random data, but we're trying to be realistic and we're trying to incorporate missing values so that you have data you can work with as we go on. So please take your time and watch this. I had to do this as an intro for the first part, and then I had to do a lot of copying and pasting so we could just rush through it. So the second part is the interesting bit. So stick around.